It's 7 a.m. in Austin, Texas. The city's waking up, coffee shops buzzing, commuters sliding into traffic, and laptops opening in living rooms across the city. But for Samantha, a 29-year-old marketing professional, mornings aren't about clocking into one job. She's not just an employee anymore. She's part of a new generation of Americans redefining what it means to work. By breakfast, Samantha has already answered emails for her part-time social media consulting gig. By noon, she'll be editing short videos for a health and fitness influencer. And by the evening, she'll be creating digital templates for an Etsy shop she runs on weekends. Each role is different, but together, they form something powerful. A lifestyle that pays her an extra $45,000 a year. This isn't freelancing in the old sense. It isn't side hustling in the way Americans used to talk about driving Uber after work. It's something broader, smarter, and more intentional. It's called polyworking, and in 2025, it's quietly taking over the U.S. economy. What polyworking really means? The word itself sounds futuristic, but the concept is simple: holding multiple professional jobs or hustles at once. For decades, Americans were told that the dream was stability. Get one good job, climb the corporate ladder, retire at 65 with a pension. That world no longer exists. Today, job security feels fragile. Layoffs sweep through tech companies every few months. Inflation eats away at savings. Housing prices rise faster than wages. So instead of relying on one paycheck, workers are diversifying, just like investors diversify their portfolios. Polyworking is about spreading financial risk, building independence, and creating freedom. A polyworker isn't just a side hustler. They're often a designer turned consultant turned content creator, or a teacher. The difference is intention. Instead of treating side hustles as scattered gigs, polyworkers treat them as a career portfolio, the perfect storm of 2025. So why is polyworking exploding now? The answer lies in a combination of technology, economics, and culture. AI as the great enabler. 5 years ago, running 3 or 4 different roles would have been impossible without working yourself into burnout. But with the rise of AI tools, ChatGPT for writing, Canva AI for design, Midjourney for visuals, scheduling apps for time management, tasks that used to take hours now take minutes. Freelancers can double their client load, content creators can churn out videos faster, online sellers can automate customer service. Technology has removed the time barrier, making polyworking actually sustainable. The cost of living crisis. Meanwhile, the economic backdrop is harsh. According to recent U.S. data, the cost of living in major cities has risen nearly 20% since 2020. Rent in New York and San Francisco is at historic highs. Groceries, healthcare, and transportation all cost more. One income stream isn't cutting it anymore. Americans are forced to adapt, and polyworking provides a solution. Instead of just clocking overtime hours, they're stacking different flexible jobs that add up to a real safety net. A cultural shift in work identity. There's also a cultural element. Millennials and Gen Z, who now dominate the workforce, reject the idea of being defined by one career title. They don't want to be just a lawyer or just a teacher. They want to be lawyer plus writer plus TikTok creator, teacher plus online tutor plus Etsy shop owner. They want careers that reflect their multi-dimensional identities. Polyworking lets them explore creativity while also securing income. The numbers behind the trend. So how much money are polyworkers really making? Surveys in 2025 show that the average polyworker earns about $45,000 per year in extra income on top of their primary job. That's life-changing money. Here's how it usually breaks down. Freelance writing, design, or coding is $12K to $18K a year. Social media management or UGC content is $8K to $15K a year. Remote tutoring or consulting is $15K to $20K a year. E-commerce and digital products are $5K to $10K a year. Stack 2 or 3 together, and you've got an income stream as big as a traditional salary. To put it in perspective, $45,000 is nearly the U.S. median household income in the 1990s. Today, it's the difference between living paycheck to paycheck and finally building savings. Stories of real polyworkers. Samantha from Austin. We already met Samantha, whose design consulting, video editing, and Etsy shop bringing in around $47,000 a year. For her, polyworking isn't just about money, it's about independence. I never want to rely on just one employer. Having multiple roles means if one gig disappears, I don't panic. Mark is from Atlanta. Then there's Marcus, 27, who splits his time between remote social media coordination, weekend Uber driving, and video editing for YouTubers. Together, he earns more than $50,000 a year. What started as just a way to cover student loans turned into a lifestyle he doesn't plan to quit. And Jessica from Denver. Jessica, 32, uses polyworking to accelerate her financial goals. Part-time UX designer, she also sells productivity templates online and runs a small YouTube channel. The $48,000 she earns goes straight toward paying off student debt and saving for a down payment on a home. These stories aren't rare anymore. Across the U.S., polyworkers are building careers out of multiple roles. The benefits of polyworking: income security. Lose one client or gig? No problem, you've got others. Skill growth. Polyworking forces people to learn fast, from marketing to sales to finance. Freedom and flexibility. Many polyworkers decide when and where to work. Creative fulfillment. Workers explore passions that don't fit neatly into a single 9-to-5. For many, polyworking represents freedom in a way that a traditional job never could. The dark side. Challenges of polyworking. Of course, it's not all easy. Polyworking has its downsides. Time management. Without boundaries, juggling multiple roles can be chaotic. Burnout. It's easy to overcommit and stretch yourself thin. Taxes. Multiple income streams means complex filing, and many get caught unprepared. Employer pushback. Some companies restrict outside work, forcing polyworkers to keep it secret. It takes discipline, organization, and mental resilience to make it work long-term. How to become a polyworker. For those thinking about joining the movement, experts recommend starting small. Identify skills. List what you're good at: writing, teaching, coding, design. Pick 2 streams. Start with just 2 complementary roles. Leverage AI tools. Automate repetitive tasks to save time. Set boundaries. Use time blocks to separate roles. Track money carefully. Use apps like QuickBooks to manage finances and taxes. Most successful polyworkers don't build everything at once. They grow step by step. Is polyworking just a 2025 fad? Analysts predict that by 2030, 1 in 3 U.S. workers will be polyworkers. Companies themselves are adapting, hiring more contractors and part-timers instead of full-time staff. The workforce of the future won't be built on one ladder. It will be built on a network of bridges, small roles connected into a flexible, resilient career. In a way, polyworking is shaping the new American dream. Instead of security coming from one employer, it comes from self-reliance, creativity, and diversification. Polyworking isn't just a trend, it's the future of how Americans earn and live. One paycheck is fragile, but a portfolio of incomes builds real freedom. If this inspired you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts below. Because in 2025, the smartest hustle is building more than one path forward.